Party and practice.
25, look, PPL is here. My favorite time of year. Blood, sweat, and tears dripping all over the gear. Yeah, NFL is back, so is PPL. Let the game get started. Time to see who will prevail. Yeah, the wait is over. Yeah, it's time for fantasy. It's time to draft to build a team that's capable to win the ring. As the gap attack back to back and try to get them free. He's chilling on the throne where everybody wants to be. Yeah, we all want the money. Everybody pay the fee. For me, I'm trying to win it just to brag about my team. Everybody wants to read, but it ain't easy to achieve it. But believe it when I say it, feels so good when you receive it. Yeah, BBL is back, BBL the league is whack. You can say I'm talking smack, now I'm only speaking fact. Every week we got the live show, each year we got a nice flow. The others they can see it's like they're playing with their eyes closed. PPL we ride, PPL we live, PPL we high, we the best you can't deny. Welcome to the live show, life be like the sideshow. You know and I know that PPL's a war zone, 100-yard battlefield, helmets as a battle shield. PPL we're back for real, time to draft and make a deal. Alpha versus Omega, battle with the fantasy, a game of intelligence, sacrifice and strategy.
Live week 6. We are through the first third of the season. It's coming fast and furious. The PPL is going into interconference warfare, but before we get into interconference warfare, let's take an eye back to our week 5 scores. Starting with the Argonauts leaving no doubt in a big time game, 183 to the Bosses 123. Killer Kev scores the upset, no lock of the week this time, 97 to 77. Patty's Twins keeps the high scoring rolling, gets by the rival Gaff Attack, 135 to 109. Squad underestimated goes to 4th straight hottest team in the PPL, 128 to 91. And the Skulls get the monkey off their back, break the United players streak over them, 118 to 114. Alrighty, PPLers, it's been a great season so far. I hope everybody's enjoying it. But let's take our last eye back to week 5 with the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what it is, good, bad, and ugly in the PPL. I'm going to give it to you straight, and here is how I see it. My good for this week was QB play across the PPL. Lasers, bombs, and bullets flew all over the place. Most teams had a quarterback perform over 20 points, so it was a great day for QB play in the PPL. The bad in the PPL is teams falling off. We're looking at the United play as the Destroyers couldn't get over the hump. Teams that needed big conference wins couldn't quite get it, only for the Boss with a big loss in Alpha. And, of course, appease the gods who started out 3-0, now falling down to 3-2. And the ugly across the league is low scoring. For as much high scoring as we've seen, we're seeing a few teams struggling to get across that 100-point mark. Despite the win, Killer Kev is still hovering under 100. Appease the Gods had their second straight week of under 80 points. And, of course, Trey Fitty, who's had a struggle throughout the season scoring, also petered out at 91. So we got to get the scoring up for those teams to stay in contention, or else it's going to be a long year. But with that said, what's past is prologue. It's time to get into the weeks. And we start with a huge game in the PPL. Interconference warfare starts with a novice and one of the most experienced teams in league history. We got Killer Kev taking on the Gaff Attack. All right, we got Killer Kev coming in with the Packer Love, Jordan Love, and Josh Jacobs going up against the hapless Cincinnati Bengals. On the other side, the Gaff took a loss, took one on the chin, but need to get back on track. This is going to be a big one. It's going to be interesting to see how Jalen Hurts comes out against the New York Giants tonight. He didn't play all that well against the Denver Broncos. This is going to be a game in New York. But Jalen's just an unbenchable player. He did get outperformed by Justin Fields. I thought that wasn't going to be a good play, but it ended up not costing the Gaff the matchup. The Gaff had issues elsewhere. other places. But Jalen Hurts, I believe, is going to have himself a good game. Kenneth Walker is another one. I think that the running game for the Seahawks is going to get started. They showed that they can be explosive through the air, and I think Kenneth is going to get a few more runs his way. DK Metcalf is a guy that I'm really, really interested in. Greg Newsome II just got traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars, so that takes down that Cleveland secondary a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see. At the end of the day, it's going to be one that is going to be fun, but I think at the end, we're going to see it. The Gaff attack is going to stay on track with a big win thanks to Broncos coach and Broncos D early in the morning. Killer Kev might not have enough. I got the Gaff getting this one 128 to Killer Kev's 117. And moving on to our next matchup, we go to the Founders matchup. Athens and Sparta of the PPL. A big one for these two teams. We've got the Argonauts taking on Appease the Gods. All right, big one here. The Argonauts roll in after a 183-point performance. Appease the Gods coming in with only 77 last week. These two teams are on opposite sides of the scoring, but something's got to give in this one. It's going to be an interesting matchup here. Appease the Gods has a lot of guys on night matchups. There's a Monday night doubleheader. Caleb Williams, Bijan Robinson, DJ Moore, and if they decide Terry McLaren are all Monday night plays. They got a couple of guys on those Lions in Montgomery and Sam Laporta. So ATG has some strong plays, and I really like Sutton. Now on the Argonaut side, they really lit it up last week thanks in large part to big games from Mayfield and Negruka. And Rico Dowdle came out of nowhere with a 200-yard performance. This matchup is probably going to be one of the more interesting to call. ATG does need to get a coach in there. Doesn't like they've done it yet. So it's going to be tough. Now, they have what it takes, I think, to kind of come out of this one at the end. Unless the Argonauts have another huge explosion, I think Appease the Gods finds a way to come back on Monday night. I got ATG getting this matchup 131 to the Argonauts 128. And moving on to our next matchup, we go into our next interconference matchup. Squad Underestimated looking like the best team in the PPL, but the United Players, the Destroyers, are trying to survive. All right, this is another good one. Squad Underestimated looking to run their win streak to 5 straight. The United Players, the Destroyers, are looking like a team that can't figure things out. Now, their running game got the boost with Genty's performance, but it also got a downturn with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson's struggles. They need to get a kicker in. I don't like that Lions D against that Kansas City offense, but Bill's head coach should be okay despite the upset loss last week. Now on squad side, what's not to like? Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley in the backfield. J.K. Dobbins is a great flex play, and Puka Nacua is the #1 receiver in the league. Bo Nix is showing a lot of potential, and if he doesn't like what he sees there, he always has Dak Prescott to fall back on. Squad Underestimated is looking like they're in a league of their own right now, and I think that continues. I got Squad getting this one 145 to the United Players 115. And moving on to our next matchup, we go into a big one for both of these teams. Both of them trying to figure out a way to stay in it. Interconference warfare is going to be pivotal for both of these teams. We got Trey Fitty taking on the Skulls. Alrighty, we got Trey Fitty coming in with Jaden Daniels on Monday night. He had himself a solid performance, but wasn't enough to lift him to victory last week. Obviously, Romo Dunze, they get back. Big injury with Omarion Hampton. That's going to hurt them in some ways. Now, on the other side, the Skulls, they can't quite find their running game, but hey, when Jamar Chase goes for 2 touchdowns and Josh Allen does just enough to get you the win, sometimes you can just find ways to survive week by week. It's going to be interesting to see if the Skulls can survive another week. Now, they did pull off back-to-back victories after starting 0-3. Very impressive. But the injury bug is biting not so much them, but guys that they need in. Obviously, Burrow's injury has affected Chase in a big way, and Lamar's injury is affecting Zay Flowers. Lad McConkey, who was a keeper and a guy that many expected a lot from, has just not been that. Now, on Trey Fitty's side, Quinshon Judkins is going to have himself a decent day. He has that backfield pretty much to himself. Breece Hall is also in that same situation, and the Denver run defense isn't the best in the league. I like Eagles D tonight, and I like Trey Fitty in this matchup. I'm going to go Trey Fitty getting this one 121 to the Skulls 110. And moving to our prestige matchup of the week, we got a big rematch from Pantheon Cup 12 and Pantheon Cup 13. Both of these teams need this win to stay on track. This is the kind of matchup that epitomizes interconference warfare. We got only for the boss taking on Patty's Twins. All right, big one here in the prestige matchup of the week. Herbert and Mahomes, Taylor and Cook. We got some star power in this one. But when you really look at it, Patty's Twins is doing the damn thing. They've got the second highest projected total for this week at 139.6. That's a huge projection, and you gotta like them everywhere. Xavier Worthy is the key to the Chiefs' offense right now. If you take him out of the matchup, it kind of brings Mahomes down a little bit. So the Twins have a great check piece on their side. Gotta love Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's been nothing but consistent. And Jake Ferguson is becoming the top tight end in the PPL, a revelation for Patty's Twins. Love the Rams D play. Eagles coach should have a good time against the New York Giants. Now on the Boston side, this is a terrible week for them. They got Patrick Mahomes against Detroit. They got the Chiefs coach against Detroit. And obviously Travis Kelce against Detroit on that Sunday night game. Could they win that game? Sure. But based on what we've been seeing lately, I wouldn't hold my breath. I like the Devontae Adams play against Baltimore. And Rashad White looked awesome for them last week against the Argonauts. It's going to be important for James Cook to get back on track. But even that, I don't think is going to be enough. Patty's Twins is too good and too stacked. They're looking like the team that hoisted that first Pantheon Cup. I got the Twins getting a big win in the prestige matchup of the week, 142 to only for the Bosses 121. Alrighty, PPLers, thanks for a quick week of PPL Live Week 6. Ulysses will be back next week. This week it was just me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Quick video, so please comment. Give me some feedback. I love to hear it. Good luck. Have a good weekend, and may the odds be ever in your favor.